as you can see, we are here. We are live, and welcome to episode 6. We actually made it 6 episodes to watch What Now, or as me and my lovely co-host sometimes consider it, watch What When. The rescheduling. It's a podcast where we just watch the good, the bad, and sometimes the very, very ugly. And it's also my co-host's journey into the horror genre. I am Eric from Hey Internet Eric here, and with me is my wonderful co-host and someone I consider a good friend. She's an AVN Hall of Famer, a former radio show host, and well, perhaps after today she might reconsider that whole good friend aspect of the intro. Miss Melissa Hill. Melissa,
hello.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I just finished watching the topic that we're going to be discussing tonight, and as you said, the wounds are fresh.
Yeah, to give a little context for anybody that is new to the show, or if you caught, first off, thank you to anyone who watched the last episode when YouTube took a major crap, I guess, nationwide, and a lot of live streams were live but weren't visible. For spooky season, my wonderful co-host thought of the idea, hey, let's watch movies where people are in costumes doing stupid things. And I thought, I was looking around, see what we could do. And I said, well, that would be tough. How about people in costumes in stupid movies? And she said, perfect. So I gave her 3 categories. The first one she chose was storybook characters. And that's how our last episode of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey came to be. And oh boy, the second category chosen was goblins. And that is how I believe it was one of our posts was put on one of our posts for worst horror movies of all time. Today we're discussing the apparently cult classic Troll 2.
And after watching the movie, I can understand why it's a cult classic.
Now, here's the thing. I've seen this movie before. This is your first time watching.
Yes.
I've seen this movie. This is maybe my 5th time watching it. This is my first time watching it by myself. Obviously, this movie was made to watch with a group of people who maybe have some possibly beer and pizza involved, because it's a much different experience. Me personally, Melissa, I'm not going to lie. I'll throw my cards right now. Watching it by myself, I fucking hated this movie. What are your initial thoughts?
Well, yeah, I have the opposite experience.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first time ever watching the movie, and I watched it by myself. And I was thinking through the whole movie, like, oh my God, I wish I had a group of friends that I could watch this movie with. So yeah, I don't have a group of friends that are close by, and the friends that I do have here, I don't think would have the patience to put up with this movie.
No, we already starred one of our friends with The Room, and we'll leave it at that. We want to keep them friends. The Troll 2 came out in 1990, and it is known as one of the worst horror movies of all time. Not just that, but also one of the worst films of all time. And it even has a documentary, I believe it is on Tubi, called Best Worst Movie. And it talks about the making of the film. It's directed by the grown-up, Joshua actor. And it has all the cast members and stuff like that. And it talks about how it literally is a cult phenomenon. It has Midnight Madness showings and stuff like that. People love this.
It's funny that I was actually wondering, like, whatever became of Joshua, the actor who portrayed Joshua. And so it was in 1990 on the dot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this came out in 1990.
Okay, and I mean, it was so 1990s, but there was a little bit of late 80s in there too, like the exercise outfit that the
Yeah.
daughter was wearing.
Yeah, that was, we're really going to get into this. The basic plot of this is it's Troll 2 that has nothing to do with Troll 1, and that was Melissa's concern. She's like, I haven't seen the first one, and I literally said it doesn't fucking matter, especially because they're not trolls. This was written by a woman.
Goblins.
This was written by an Italian woman who couldn't speak English, and she
Okay.
was inspired by her friend's turn to vegetarianism. As you know, there was a lot of vegetarian themes in this. And
Mhm.
her husband was the director who also couldn't speak English. And I think it shows with the writing and the directing. I guess we'll rip off the band-aid and get to it. The movie starts off. Now, I still got all my notes. It's been about a week, but your wounds are still fresh. So if I miss something, jump right in, please.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say, so I'm going to read the premise of how.
Yeah.
So while vacationing in the country, a family learns that the town is populated by trolls disguised as people that plan on eating them.
I think that's a good idea. I think that's what. Yeah, I mean, that sounds a lot when watching this. That's a good idea. I think we're going to do that from now on. Just have a little bit of plot summary.
Okay.
So we start off, and
We start off with awesome intro music.
yeah, kind of.
To me, the music didn't really it didn't jive with what the movie was about. Like the music was so typically 1990s porn.
Yes, that was the first thing I thought of. I was thinking late 80s, early 90s, like synth porn music.
Yeah.
And we are as the audience being told and seeing the fairy tale of a man named Peter. The story is being told to Joshua by his grandpa Seth. And we'll definitely get to Grandpa Seth in a minute. Peter is going through the forest, and I'm trying to think. I don't know if he's being chased by goblins.
Mm-hmm. Who are not trolls.
No, they're not trolls.
They're goblins.
They look more like Ewoks after having a big meth bender. They are.
Yes, exactly. I was like, that's what I thought. Well, not exactly that, but I thought these aren't your typical Ewoks.
No,
like, they're like Ewoks that got fed, drank water after midnight.
Exactly. Hello to Chris in the chat. He's saying good evening. He loves your shirt, Melissa. Your Halloween Michael Myers shirt. And so we're following Peter. He's being chased by these goblins, and it's the budget. Let me see. I have this budget here. The budget. You know it's bad when they don't have the box office result, but it says the budget was $100,000, and I'd like to know where the fuck the $100,000 went, because it didn't go into these costumes. These were typical last on the shelf night before Halloween Kmart goblin masks and rubber gloves, and they're just little people wearing them, and for lack of a better term, potato sacks for the outfit.
Well, $100,000, that's double the budget of the last movie we discussed, which was Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, was it not? Wasn't that a $50,000 budget?
Yeah, but at least the sets look better on that one. I got to give it that.
Well, I think this is $100,000. That's true. $100,000 in 1990. Yeah. I don't know what that would be nowadays, but
yeah, I have no idea.
Let's see. They did a lot of driving. Well, gas wasn't too expensive back then. They had some locations, actual houses.
A lot of the extras were friends and family of the writer and director flown in from Italy. So that's a lot of plane tickets, I guess you would say.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we're following Peter, and he is being chased through the forest by goblins. And he is injured, and he meets this beautiful blonde with the worst painted on freckles that you've ever seen. He looked like a Raggedy Ann doll with those freckles, and he's injured, and she is going to give him like a potion or something in a bowl. She tells him to drink it, and it'll heal him. And I don't know how the hell this guy is supposed to drink that thing, because it's so thick it looks like pudding, to be honest.
To me, it looked like Nickelodeon slime.
Yeah, exactly.
So like in the early days of Nickelodeon, the channel
Yeah,
Nickelodeon,
yeah,
when
like that.
they had you can't do that on television,
Mm-hmm.
and the green slime was lumpy and
Yeah, it was like green oatmeal or something like that is what it
right.
reminded me of.
Yeah.
So Peter drinks that, and then suddenly the story's interrupted because mom comes in the room. She hears Joshua talking, because of course Joshua's having the story read to him by Grandpa Seth, and it's just Joshua talking to himself. Apparently, Grandpa Seth has been dead for I don't know how many months, and this is really where I get my first
6.
red flag. 6 months.
6 months. But the funny thing is that the chair was still moving, yet the mom didn't believe Joshua that someone had been sitting there.
I don't know if that was bad direction, bad writing, bad acting, all of it mixed in. It's something that was overlooked. And it's just this little story or this little scene of, her telling him to go to bed type of thing. And then, if that isn't weird enough, we immediately cut to Joshua's older sister in
Holly.
some very 80s workout gear, just getting all sweaty, pumping iron, doing exercises because
That's what we did in the 1990s.
I guess.
We wore Olivia Newton-John Let's Get Physical outfits, and we all had our own little bench press bench in our
Yeah.
bedrooms.
Yeah. At least that's what this Italian writer director couple thought.
Right.
And so she's having this little montage, and then her boyfriend creepily sneaks in her window, and he's
Elliot.
trying to. Yep. Oh God, that guy. And he's trying to get some action, and she keeps pushing him away. And you could tell this is very late 80s, early 90s because he swears that he'll become a homo if he doesn't get any action.
Yes. Because didn't she like punch him in the junk or something like that?
Yeah,
she threatened to.
Yeah, and she just said, if my dad comes in here, he'll find you and kill you and all this stuff. And she's talking about how he might as well become a homo because he's always hanging out with his friends instead of her. And it's a very much product of its time.
Right.
And
yeah, the movies back then, I actually wrote this. I said, why does every 80s, 90s movie with teens portray them as like sex crazed, horny people? where the women, where they're searching for easy women.
Exactly, and and the thing is, 9 times out of 10 they have no game either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can tell that these girls can just do so much better. So we find out that Joshua and his family, they're going on a road trip. They're doing kind of like a house swap. They're going to live in one family's house and then vice versa. And it's just this typical driving cross country scene. They're arguing. And how does mom want to break the tension? She looks at Joshua and she says, "Sing the song that I love." And
which was like, why didn't she just say what the name of the song was?
Well, the thing is, I was also reading this, and due to the the writers and this and that, it was hard to understand the language, because of the language barrier. A lot of the actors wanted to ad lib to attempt to make the dialogue better, and the director wouldn't have it. He made them read it verbatim.
Oh wow! Okay.
So we had this nice, wonderful montage and musical number of "Row, Row, Row Your Boat" for a good couple minutes, and right. This is the part where I'm thinking this is where Melissa is really going to start cussing me out and sending me texts. And I was surprised it didn't happen until we get to the hospitality scene. But
well, I was like, that tracks.
Yeah.
Because I do remember going on road trips as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
There weren't a lot of choices of music on the radio. You had a lot of dead space, and yeah, I mean, they could have put in "Bad Mama Jamma," in the cassette player, I guess, but they chose not to. Instead, they sang "Row, Row, Row Your Boat."
I think all they were getting was like biblical radio or something like that, and that's another reason why they were going nuts. And then, okay, it's been a while since I've seen this movie, and I completely forgot about this scene. Joshua falls asleep, and he has a dream where he's really, really, really sick, and he starts.
he's dreaming while in the car.
Yes, he's dreaming while he's in the car, and he starts sweating green sweat, and it's getting all over his face, and suddenly branches are growing out of his fingers, and it's really cringy and overly long, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, with no explanation, he just wakes up, and everything's fine. And literally, this is as bad as the dialogue is. Holly turns around. What's the matter, little brother? Now, I
He
have a
just had
younger
nightmare.
I have a younger sibling, and I understand this movie is only PG or PG-13. I
Mhm.
never once would, if my brother was having a nightmare or something like that, would use that dialogue. I'd ask him, "What the hell's the matter? What's wrong?"
Yeah.
Literally, it's very, "What's the matter, little brother?" And that's just, again, I'm getting ready to deal with all this bad dialogue,
Right.
and I'm trying to think. Then they drive past a homeless man trying to get a ride, but Joshua swears it's Grandpa. So they stop the car. He has a freak out and runs up to this creepy homeless man that obviously isn't Grandpa. And then he just basically shrugs his shoulders and gets back in the car.
Right. And but he told his parents he needed a vomit, which he didn't even like pretend to do.
Yeah.
And then they just left the guy because he's like, "Are you going to give me a ride or what?"
Yeah, and that's where Josh was basically, he just kind of shrugs his shoulders and walks back into the car.
Right.
Jesus Christ. Okay, we get to the town of Nilbog. We get to the town of Nilbog.
Right.
Yes. And if you really can't put two and two together, what Nilbog is, I don't know what to tell you. We meet the family, the house where the house that they're going to live in. And
are we gonna tell them what it is? This is goblins spelled backwards.
Yeah. Well, I was waiting for the big dramatic reveal when Joshua looks in the fucking mirror.
I was kind of like, how did they not already figure this out?
Yeah.
Like,
seriously.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say, seriously, it's like if Joshua already knows about lore of goblins from his fucking dead grandfather, I guess.
Right.
And like Joshua doesn't seem like a dumb kid. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he just couldn't put two and two together. So we're meeting the creepy family who basically says nothing. They look like they're straight out of like adult versions of the Children of the Corn.
Right.
And
you're late.
You're late.
They're all standing there already with their suitcases.
Yeah.
This is the family whose house they're going to stay in, who's also going to be staying in the other family's house, which
correct.
I was kind of like, well, couldn't they have just left? Did they need to wait for the other family to arrive?
They could have been like Joshua's family, leave our doors unlocked or leave the key under the mat and you guys can come in. Anyways.
Right.
So then we go into the house and everyone except for Joshua, oh, what a beautiful house this is. This is wonderful. Oh, look, they left some food on the dinner table.
And everything is covered in green slime. And they're looking at it like it's the most delicious food that they've. Oh, look at all. And I'm like, it's not even a Jell-O mold. Like, there's not even a Jell-O mold there.
No, you've got biscuits with green slime on it. There's green juice. Holly is literally going to eat an ear of corn with green shit.
Butter.
Yeah,
right?
all over the top of it. And of course, I don't know if they can't see it. I don't know. I think they can, but they're just so amazed at how friendly this fucking family was. That's when we get. Go ahead.
But they completely forgot about the rude welcoming that they got when the first thing that the family said was, "You're late. You're 90 minutes late or an hour and a half late or something like that." And they don't even say anything. They walk past each other, and then the kids hop into the back of the pickup truck like. There's no way that's allowed these days.
Yeah, Jesus. I remember those days, though, right in the back of my dad's pickup truck or in the trunk of the car and stuff like that.
But I was kind of like, I'll be honest, because, I live here in Vermont now, and I'm surrounded by a lot of farms. And so I was expecting to see a cute little farmhouse like what I would see here. And it really wasn't that cute, but the people in the movie thought it was amazing. And which brings me to another question. So the family is the family that's on vacation, the family that the movie is based around.
Joshua's family, yeah.
Josh's family, the Waits family. They're supposed to be farmers for a month on this other family's farm, the Presence family, and yet like all I saw was dust. Like they did not do a lick of farm work.
Dirt farmers, I guess. I don't know.
Right. What are they farming exactly? And when the Waits family passed through town and they went past the general store, or what we later find out is the general store, and like suddenly all these people appear in the window and watch the family drive by, and I'm thinking, yeah, I've seen a few of those around here.
Oh, one thing I forgot. The boyfriend Elliot and his crew of buddies, they're tagging along too. They're in their own van and they break down. Now, this scene was just really fucking stupid in my opinion. Now they're down like an incline.
Right.
And you have the family up this incline that's probably a couple miles away, right? Give or take. And they see, they're like, oh, that's gotta be Holly and the family. And Elliot's yelling, Holly, hey, hey, and Holly flips him the bird. They can't fucking see that middle finger from that difference, from that distance.
Not only that, the windows were tinted.
Yeah. Okay.
When they shot the angle up from the perspective of the boys from their RV, they shot it up, and you see the family van, the family minivan, which must have been one of the first minivans around.
Yeah.
Because we were still driving Blazers, Broncos or whatever in the 1990s in my family. But anyway, so maybe that's where the budget went. It was an expensive
I guess so.
minivan.
Sure. You keep thinking that.
And the Winnebago that they had to rent or buy. But yeah, anyway, I the same thing. I was like, there's no way that, and the girl had been crying because she had invited her boyfriend the night before when he snuck into her bedroom, and she was like, only you can't bring your friends or anything like that. And then he never showed up.
Right.
Which is why they were late, because they were waiting. They waited until 9:30. They were supposed to depart at 8 a.m.
Right.
They waited until 9:30 for Elliot to show up, and he never showed. So, the girl was very down and depressed. So, like, I don't know, but I guess I see her point. At first, I was like, "Oh, there's your boyfriend. Wouldn't you be happy? Tell your mom and dad, stop. That's my boyfriend. Yeah. He surprised me with the Winnebago.
Yeah,
and his friends." But yeah, anyway, so
she flips him off. He can't see because of the distance, the tinted windows, and the fact that the fucking sun is in his eyes. Anyways, so we're at the scene where they're eating all the green food.
They're about to.
They're about to eat the green food, and who just happens to show up? The spirit of creepy Grandpa Seth, and he's literally knocking on like the screen door window or something like that.
Yeah.
And he tells Joshua, "You don't let them eat that. It's bad, blah, blah, blah." And he now, as a ghost, now we pretty much know, whether you believe in ghosts or not, they don't really have a lot of powers. They don't really have magic powers, do they? They can move stuff. They can't be seen. Maybe a couple people can see them if they have the Shining, that type of bullshit. Grandpa Seth has the power to freeze time.
I think he was more of like an Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, he still had the Force with him, even though he's not physically there. He's stronger in the afterlife.
Apparently so, and we're gonna get to his fucking powers. But apparently he tells Joshua, he says, "You don't have much time. You got to stop them from eating the food."
Yeah, 30 seconds.
30 seconds exactly. And he snaps his fingers, and everybody's frozen. Like literally, Holly's frozen in mid bite of the nasty ass green buttered corn. Melissa,
I was very impressed with the dad in mid drink, like how he balanced, the actor, how he was able to balance the liquid right on the tip of the cup while his mouth is still hanging open. And I'm thinking, wasn't there a lot of drool coming out of his mouth when they filmed that scene?
And he was the only one, God bless the actors, they tried their best. He was the only one that you could see not move, when they're supposed to be frozen. Yes. Well, Melissa, what does young Joshua decide to do to save his family?
He doesn't do the logical thing, which to me would be grab the food out of their hands while they're frozen, and You see young Joshua climb on top of the table, stand up, and start zipping his pants down. Apparently, he pissed on their food.
Yep. We cut immediately to Holly scraping food into the garbage and
talking about how horrible it stinks.
Talking about how horrible it stinks and how horrible Joshua is, and she hopes his dad beats him. And I think I don't know the dad's name. I don't know if it's George, I think. You got your notes. I didn't write it down. I just wrote down Dad.
I just have Dad. Same with
That's
Mom.
Fine. Dad, yeah. Mom is good enough. He is got Joshua on his shoulders, and he's literally walking him down the hallway, pointing to every door that's got everybody's name on it, and he's like freezing in mid-sentence. You know what that means? He points to a door. He goes to another door. That means hospitality. Then he points to another door. And you can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it.
As he unbuckles his pants and is about to spank. Yeah.
Well, we think he's going to spank Joshua Joshua is like one of the worst child actors I've seen in a long time, and he's got such a punchable face. And I don't get me wrong, I'm not going to abuse a child, but it's just every time that kid's on screen and the way he delivers his dialogue is just cringy. He literally says to his dad, "What are you going to do to me, Daddy?" As Dad's messing with his belt. Right. And instead of taking the belt off to beat him, he says, "I'm tightening my belt to get rid of the hunger pains."
Right. Yes, that's right. He says, "I'm tightening my belt to get rid of." But back to the kid. Yes. He kind of reminded me of Billy Mummy from Lost in Space.
Yes, he'd look just like him if he had a baby with Howdy Doody. So now I think so we cut to. I think we cut to the van of the boyfriend and Elliot and his friends, and then we have Arnold. Arnold's tired of the sausage fest in the van, and he decides to go outside for a stretch. And he sees this beautiful blonde running through the forest.
Not before he says, "Where are all the single, unattached, horny women?"
Yeah, that just happen to be in the middle of the woods.
And he lights up a cigarette. You don't see teenagers smoke on TV anymore.
The director and the writers couldn't speak English, Melissa. They didn't know what they were doing. So Arnold, go ahead.
Arnold reminded me. I don't know. You might take a guess of who he reminded me of. Dian Bahar.
Yeah, Dian Bahar, if he was an average-sized human being, we'll say that.
Well, Arnold was pretty short.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, compared to Dian, I think Arnold's pretty tall. Oh, not every male is 5 foot tall like Dian. So Arnold sees this beautiful blonde running through the forest, and of course, he's looking for the horny woman. Right. So he says, "Hey, this woman looks to be scared. I'm desperate. I'm horny. I'm gonna go see, what's up with that." Right. And he oh God, this is where he finds the goblins. They're chasing her. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Okay, go ahead. No.
Okay. Right. Well, saying he finds her. He's what's wrong? Blah blah blah. The goblins show up. They got their spears and everything, and he's just unfazed by all this. Like he's fucking seen these things before. You know what I mean? He's trying to act like
I'll take care of this.
Yes, he does. He has this really bad, like tough John Wayne type of expression, and he's really like just getting in their faces. But again, it's like he's seen this before. This doesn't faze him. It's not every day you see fucking, like I said, methed out Ewoks chasing a blonde through the forest.
Well, maybe he just thought that they were weird people dressed up in crazy costumes.
You know what? It is the sticks. You know what I mean? Okay, so he sees that. Okay, and he talks about how he's not scared of them. Leave the blonde girl alone. And then and they're face to face. Arnold and these goblins, but you have this one goblin literally throw a spear like a javelin, and it arcs like in the air, like he's in a fucking javelin throw contest.
Kind of like Revenge of the Nerds.
Exactly. We have the little Lamar goblin. We have the little Lamar goblin throwing the spear through the air, and it's one of those. The actor catches it and holds it to him, and has like the weakest scream in the world. Exactly. and
his buddies are in the RV, and they're like, "What's that? I
Yeah.
hear someone screaming. They don't once think maybe we should open the door and check to make sure
Yeah.
everyone's okay. They're just like, it's just some country girl deflowering Arnold.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Those didn't sound like pleasurable noises. So
Right.
these guys aren't very bright. So
Right.
somehow the blonde and Arnold make it to this weird. It's not a castle, but it looks like an old church that just
Right.
happens to be in the middle of the forest. And this is where we get to meet the witch Credence.
Which going back,
Yes.
it brought up the question of if they were within hearing distance of the RV, why didn't they just run back to the RV?
Because Arnold's an idiot. I don't know.
These silly horror movies always leave me asking more questions than I get answers.
You've had a very interesting journey into this genre, Melissa. Shout out to Marty from the Trash Picture Show. You can't piss on hospitality. Exactly. Oh. So we meet Credence. And apparently she gives this big spiel about, she's from Stonehenge and her whole lineage. And I'm not really giving a shit because I'm too busy looking at her huge librarian-like glasses. And as we were talking, as I said in our text discussion, she had like the driest lips I've ever seen, like the worst case of herpes. And it's just, I don't know if it's supposed to be comical. I don't know if it's supposed to be scary. I don't know if the director just said, put this on her face and try to make her look like a witch. It's just very, very, very awful. What was your thoughts of Credence the first time? Because you're already on a bumpy road watching Troll 2, Melissa.
Well, she's like, the kids run in, they're like, whose house is this? And she leans over the railing. It's my house.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, it's a young girl dressed up in makeup who's putting on a play.
Yeah. She did act like she was a stage actor with all the way she acted. She was very much a stage actor.
Mm-hmm.
So oh God. So this is where she gives basically a drink to heal the wound. She gives it to the blonde. She gives it to Arnold.
Yeah, a mug full of dry ice, basically.
Yeah, basically, that's what it is. And the blonde starts vomiting green water. Right. And this is where, like, she's upstairs, and she's vomiting green water, and then she lays on the ground, and it's some of the worst special effects. Again, $100,000, and I don't know, it definitely didn't go to this scene. You see her slowly sinking into the ground. Apparently, she's melting, and that's when all the goblins come out, and they start. These poor little people in these outfits trying to scoop up this glop in these rubber gloves, basically.
The hands that don't.
It was like when Winnie the Pooh was eating the honey from the last episode. It was just them smearing it on their face. And this is where we had the scene where this movie is pretty much all known for, is where Arnold's looking up at her. Oh my God, they're eating her. And then they're going to eat me. My God.
He's mansplaining to the viewers exactly what's happening in the scene and what's about to happen in the rest of the movie.
Yeah, if we couldn't fucking figure it out to begin with. And he's doing this all while the director doesn't do a second take because there's this huge giant housefly that's crawling on his forehead while he's screaming.
I didn't catch that, but
oh yeah. He's doing the whole oh my God stuff, and there's literally a housefly between his eyes and crawling up and down his forehead. And a competent director would say, "Hey, we're going to cut that. Let's do this again. We have $100,000. We can afford at least one retake," and we didn't get that.
That was my impression at the beginning of the movie. Was that I was thinking, did they literally film this movie with only one take on film? I mean, because in the 90s, they were still recording on film. Mm-hmm. And they probably, my guess would be, without knowing any of the research that you did, my guess would be they probably, they got the script, they ran through it a couple times, and then they shot it on film once. That's
they must have. And I one thing I did see is like the main cast, I guess you would say, mm-hmm. They tried out for this movie just to be extras, and they were just hired as the main cast on the spot. So I'm sure they had no prior acting experience because the father was literally just he's a dentist from some podunk town in like Utah, and he's a sweetheart in all these interviews. He's actually proud of Troll 2. He tells all of his customers, you know, hey, you ever hear the movie Troll 2 as he's cleaning their teeth? No, dude, just clean my fucking teeth type of thing. And then, okay, here's we get in here. We jump straight to this. It made me question the director's feelings towards the young actress who played Holly, because we already saw her pumping iron and getting sweaty, and now we see her doing some weird dance in her nightgown.
Right, with her nightgown that said Garfield on it.
Yeah,
and
like
it was pre TikTok, and she was practicing her solid gold dance moves in the mirror. I did it plenty of times when I was growing up.
Did you make those weird pretend masks with your hands on your face and stuff like that in the mirror like she did?
Okay, that part, no. I didn't understand what that part was all about. And I was like, is she? Yeah, I just didn't get it. Like, it didn't fit at all.
No.
But but the rest of it, though, it did remind me of practicing my moves, my solid gold dance moves in my mirror. And one time my mom caught me, and I was so embarrassed because I was doing you know, butt bumps. I don't know what you call it. You know, I was doing like like that in the mirror, looking at my butt, because that's what I had seen the night before on Solid Gold, because the camera was on the girl's butt and she was doing bump. Anyway, so
ladies and gentlemen, if you're only listening to the audio, we recommend that you come watch the live streams for Melissa's reenactments in every episode. Now, it's interesting that you talk about how you would do those dance moves in front of your mirror, and your mom caught you one day, because Holly's caught by the floating head of Grandpa Seth in her mirror, who looks like it's a really bad like Wizard of Oz effect. Because if you look, you can actually see like the black blanket under Grandpa Seth's head, like covering his chest. Because when he moves his head and talks, you see the folds and everything.
I must have been busy taking notes, because that's the type of thing I would usually catch.
Oh, well, I'm not recommending you go rewatch this.
Okay.
It's there. So Grandpa Seth talks about how, you know, he scares her, she freaks out, and then he goes in Joshua's room, and there's this just dumb sequence. Oh, you were in Holly's room. Sorry, Josh, I'm still trying to learn the layout of this house. Motherfucker, you can freeze time, but you can't get into the right bedroom mirror.
That's when I realized, oh, this is a comedy.
Not intentionally.
But from that point on, I started watching it as a comedy. I'm like, okay.
It's the only way to do it. So now we cut back to Elliot and his buddies. Now, here's the thing. Remember this whole Holly, if you don't give me action, I'm going to become a homo thing. Well, Elliot is now sleeping shirtless in the same bed with one of his buddies. So I guess it came true.
They're shoulder to shoulder, literally. And one guy's yes. That's all I'll say is yes. Same thing.
Okay. So the only friend, I only know the names of Arnold and Elliot. So we have the one guy in the yellow shirt in the headband. Drew. Thank you. Okay. This is why I keep you around. So Drew is off to the store. I guess they're out of milk or food or something.
Not before he does the stretches, though.
Oh, that's right, because that is important.
Right. That's what I wrote. I made a note of that. I said the 90s, when people did stretches before every move they made.
Yeah. We don't have time for that now.
Yeah, nobody has time for stretches. Ain't got time for that.
No way.
Look at my phone.
So he's running from the camper, I don't know, 10 miles, jogging to Nilbog, and he's picked up by Sheriff Freak. Like literally, the sheriff is introduced as Sheriff Freak. Freak. Oh, yeah, that's right. His name was Gene Freak. And he offers to give Drew a ride. Drew is hungry, and Officer Freak just happens to have a sandwich.
It looks like an egg. Yeah, egg McMuffin covered in green slime.
That's right. And I still don't know if these people can't see the green slime or whatever on it, because it's very visible.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know about you, Melissa. If some guy that I've never met before offers me food, I'm gonna kind of inspect it first. You know what I mean? And make sure there's no green shit all over it. And he starts eating a sandwich.
I'd be like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Pretend you take a bite, throw it over your shoulder type of thing, like when you're pretending to take shots. So then we get to town, and Melissa, this is where we meet the creepy store owner, who looks like he walked right out of the insane asylum.
Okay, that guy?
Yes.
That guy, not that exact person.
Okay.
But that guy, I've definitely seen around here. That guy comes into the orchard where I work like a couple times a week. And so every time that character popped up, I kept thinking about the guy that I've helped at the orchard when he pops in.
So poor Drew is trying to get some food, and he asks that guy if they have coffee. We don't drink coffee in Nilbog. It's the devil's drink, you know. Okay. And then he asked for, I don't know if he asked for like ham or bologna, and they're talking about, we're all vegetarians. We're all vegetarians here. Didn't you know that? No, motherfucker. This is my first time in the town. Of course I didn't know that.
Right. Yeah.
But then he says, have some of this nice Nilbog milk. It's good for you.
That's sitting on a shelf.
Yeah.
And this isn't shelf stable milk like they have nowadays. This is milk in a jug that's, vitamin D, whole milk, just sitting there on a shelf that has nothing else sitting on it.
Probably half curdled.
Yeah.
And so he takes that, and he's already starting to sweat the green sweat, that we saw Joshua sweat earlier. And because
he ate the mystery sandwich.
He ate the mystery meat.
No meat. Because
that's right.
Right. Yeah.
Then what kind of fucking sandwich was it?
It was like a biscuit. It looked like a biscuit with an egg on it. They all looked to me like cream puffs with green cream on them.
Yeah, I thought they were like English muffins or something with like green frosting.
Oh, so they just all look nasty.
They all look awful. So then I don't know why, but now we cut back to Credence, and now we see what's happened to Arnold, and he is now the world's ugliest human houseplant. He's literally in a pot. She's watering him, and
and this is when I started asking more questions. I wrote down, this town gives vegetarians a bad name.
Yep.
And then my question was this inspired by Soylent Green?
Well, it makes sense because Soylent Green is people. All right. So Dad and Josh, they go to that guy's store. And the store is closed because they're having like a town meeting. And this is where Dad just sits down on the porch and reads a book about vegetables. And Joshua just goes and he's on his skateboard. And this is the miraculous reveal when he looks in the mirror and sees the town of Nilbog is goblin spelled backwards. And the worst and reveal that, if you couldn't figure it out like 45 minutes early, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So what do I have next? So while they're waiting, I have Credence visits the family and brings them a cake.
Whoa.
What did I miss? Okay.
Poor Andrew gets taken out by a chainsaw.
That's right. Andrew shows up. He's taken out. That's why we saw Arnold the houseplant. Because he happened to show up at Credence's house, I guess. He's taken out with a chainsaw because every fucking witch has a chainsaw on hand.
Oh, wait. We forgot.
Yes,
okay.
Please.
When Drew left the store with the curdled milk, every cowboy and farmhand that got flown in from Italy is standing out there. And apparently the one English speaking person said, we got a message from your friend. And then he says, oh, Andrew? And the guy's like, that's it. Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, Andrew. Well, Andrew wants you to meet him at the spooky church house. That's about 1.5 miles down the road while carrying your milk.
Yeah. Yeah. These really aren't the brightest people in the world. Acres of Movie is here. Says that Troll 2 very misunderstood. They love this movie, and ooh, they are asking if we were ever going to do Doctor Giggles or Leprechaun 2. Well, my friend Melissa has a wonderful friend of hers named Shelley that has convinced us to do some Leprechaun films in March, and we'll leave it at that because we can only do with so many little imp creature movie reviews at a time. But thank you for showing up.
Yeah.
So Andrew is killed by the chainsaw, or Drew is killed by the chainsaw because Credence just fucking happens to do it. I guess she uses it to prune her fucking plants, which makes sense because she then goes to Arnold and starts using it on him off screen, of course, because we don't have the money. And instead of him screaming, it tickles him.
Right. He's tickled. Right. And then she says, I'm going to make a milkshake for your friend. And I was just like, do all the guys come into your yard because you make the best milkshake?
Jeez.
And anyway, all you see is like Drew. Wait.
Mm-hmm. Drew's the guy in the white shirt.
Wait a second.
Uh-oh.
Arnold.
Oh yeah, okay, Arnold's the plant.
Okay. I wrote Andrew got taken out by a chainsaw. Okay,
yep.
Arnold got taken out by a chainsaw. And Drew is upstairs, which brings me to another question. It's like, how come every time these people start sweating green water, do they run upstairs instead of running out?
Run out the door. Exactly. Something's wrong.
They go further up. Anyway, so she says, I'm gonna make your friend Drew a milkshake. And so after he gets cut down, Arnold gets cut down with the chainsaw, then you just see Drew lying in bed with a blender right next to him, and she turns the blender on, making the milkshake. Yeah.
God.
I was a little like, how do we go from tree to milkshake? And why is it, another question,
yes,
why is it that Arnold turned into a tree, but everybody else turns into green slime?
I wish I had an answer. I don't even think the writer had an answer.
Okay.
And she's slicing him up, and he's doing this fake ha 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 type of laugh. He sounded like Beavis and Butthead. You know what I mean? Literally.
Or Dan Bahar.
Oh God. That little bitch. So correct me if I'm wrong. This is when Credence shows up and visits Mom and Holly, and just happens to bring like a housewarming cake, I believe.
Yeah, it looked like a cheesecake, again, topped with
green fucking slime.
And here's another thing I love, how like everything is like a cake.
Exactly. It's all sweets.
Yeah, all sweets. And it was kind of like Hansel and Gretel, and then everything had like, enjoy, eat me.
Yeah, it was like not Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland, when she's eating the cookies and stuff like that.
They all had like little messages on top of the food. And again, I kept going, where is the lime green Jell-O mold? This is the perfect place for one of those. Anyway.
So let me see here. So what do we got? Now we cut to we're now cut to the sermon. Joshua's bored. Dad's busy reading the book about the vegetables. Joshua finds out that Nilbog is goblin. Big fucking surprise. And he sneaks around and he sees where the town is. Like, he's up on like the second floor and the town is in the basement somewhere. And we have this weird, scary looking dude dressed like a preacher. And he's given this anti-meat sermon. Talking about how meat is bad. This is bad. That is bad. And again, now that you know that the writer was air quotes, inspired by her friends turning into vegetarians, you couldn't get hit on the nose harder if you literally had a board smacking you in the face when it comes to this.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's a strong message.
Yeah, no shit.
And you remember when Oprah Winfrey got sued by the beef industry, the cattle industry? Yeah, because well, when she had her show
Mm-hmm.
and she went on, it was one of the times she lost like a whole bunch of weight, and she was like, "Meat is bad," and something like that. And so the cattle industry or beef industry, whatever, sued her for
Really?
saying that. So yeah, so I'm wondering, what happened when this movie came out? Did the meat industry feel the same way? Did they feel strongly enough to sue them?
I'm sure the meat industry doesn't know this fucking movie even exists. so we have the meat ceremony, or the anti-meat sermon, excuse me. And this is the first time we ever see Joshua has a skateboard, and his skateboard just happens to fall down to where the sermon is happening.
Of course.
And they catch him, and of course Joshua's scared. He sees that they're goblins. He sees them in their true form, the methed out Ewoks, and they're trying to force feed him some green slime.
That they're calling ice cream?
Yes, they say it's ice cream, and that's when Dad hears it, and he immediately books. He knows exactly where Joshua is. He puts down the book of vegetables, and he sees this group of weirdos literally holding his son hostage. Like, they have him like, one on each arm type of thing, and he sees this other weirdo like trying to shove a spoonful of ice cream or whatever it is down the throat of his son, and he's acting like basically, oh, it's just a misunderstanding. You know what I mean? It's like it's no fucking big deal. Like, this happens all the time.
But they do back out slowly.
Yeah. But still, like, there's no fighting, there's no swearing. Like, I get, they have to watch what they say in PG-13, but
well, he's clearly outnumbered.
Oh, okay.
I would have gone straight home. Okay.
These people don't eat protein. You can easily take them out. They got no muscle mass.
That's true. Where is the part that Grandpa Seth shows up and shows little Joshua how to use a Molotov cocktail?
Okay, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen yet, because I have Holly meets Elliot, and Elliot dumps his boyfriend for his girlfriend. So he goes and hangs out with the family. And Let's see, we got that.
Oh, well, because the dad, again, looks like he's about 2 miles away. Yeah. Somehow realizes that's my daughter standing there talking to this playboy of a kid.
And hopefully it's Elliot, not some random dude that's from Nilbog.
Right. And so he drives down there to put an end to it. And then Elliot, the boyfriend, ends up going back to the house with the father, his girlfriend, Holly, the little boy, Joshua, and leaves his buddy in the RV. Now, mind you, there was only 4 friends guy friends, Elliot, and the 3 other guys. And 2 of them already vanished. So now Elliot's going to leave, and he's going to leave his one friend behind with no sustenance, because they left in such a hurry. I don't know whose RV they got, but they left in such a hurry that they forgot to buy food. So they're starving as well.
Elliot doesn't care. He thinks he's going to get late. That's all it is. Right. So this is where the Molotov cocktail is getting ready to happen, because they all show up and the whole fucking town is in their house. Mom apparently let them in because it's a surprise party. They decided to throw a surprise party to make good on the misunderstanding with the ice cream. And Mom's just okay with it.
Right. But the weird thing is, it's all the same people that we just saw at the sermon, and how did they all get to the house before the dad got there?
Yeah, because you see all their vehicles outside the house too.
Right. And everyone's there. There's music playing, and he's just like, what the hell's going on in here?
You have all the eat me cakes on the table, and for some reason, Mom surprised Elliot. What are you doing here? Holly says, oh, Mom, don't worry. Elliot's a part of the family now.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Yeah, okay. So this is where, Dad's kind of getting weirded out because he's already dealt with the ice cream situation. This is where Joshua goes into the back and he starts calling on the spirit of creepy Grandpa Seth, and he's talking to him in the mirror. And Jesus.
Oh God, this part.
This is where the goblin jumps out of the mirror, and this director has some of the worst close-ups on Joshua's screaming face and the goblin. This is like that scene in Wayne's World where they do the extreme close-up, but it's like 10 times as worse and cringy. And this is where Grandpa Seth shows up with an axe because he can't. He not only does he freeze time, he's got a fucking weaponry. Happened. He cuts off one of the goblin's hands, and the goblin
goes back into the mirror.
Literally, I think it's a reverse shot of the shot we saw earlier. The goblin just literally whoop back in. The mirror's good.
The mirror goes
back together.
Back together. Yeah.
And
then we find out that it was Credence.
Yes.
Because now she's back in her spooky palace with a missing hand.
Yes, and it's I'll give her credit. These poor actors didn't get any good direction at all. Mm-hmm. And Credence, the actress playing Credence, you can tell she probably has some history on the stage. She's acting like she's a stage actor because she's very over the top with her movements because you got to act that way on the stage. She's extra loud, and this wail she gives when she's looking at that awful Kmart bloody stump of a hand. I'll give her credit for that. God bless her, she tried. And go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I wrote the note. I'd like to know if the actress who portrayed the Credence went on to a successful career. But it has nothing to do with the movie. That's just a question. But we can answer that question later.
I sadly doubt it, but here's hoping. So this is where we get the Molotov cocktail spot, because this is where now Joshua and Grandpa Seth's spirit. Now remember, he can carry stuff. He's carrying a fire extinguisher for some reason.
Oh yeah,
and they're out on the porch, and here's where the I guess you'd say the head goblin in his human form, the guy giving the sermon, he comes out, and I don't know if Grandpa Seth initially is trying to tell Joshua to throw the Molotov cocktail in the house, even though Joshua's family is in the house. So Mr. the guy who gave the sermon comes out. He takes the Molotov cocktail from Joshua, and he's got it in his hands. And now there's a battle of magical powers between the goblin guy and dead Grandpa Seth. The goblin guy, like, he's doing his hand movements towards, he's got the force trying to crush the heart of Grandpa Seth. There's wind and everything. Joshua is, being Joshua, the worst line delivery ever. Grandpa Seth, what's wrong? Are you really in hell? Because the goblin says, I'll send you to hell, type of thing. Well, Grandpa Seth, we find out he has more magical powers. He literally calls on a bolt of lightning to strike the Molotov cocktail, and it sets the goblin guy on fire.
The goblin preacher. He was the preacher, right?
The preacher. He sets him on fire. Now, Melissa, I know you missed the black blanket on Grandpa Seth's chest earlier. Did you notice that when the preacher was set on fire, you can visibly see the fireproof gloves of the actor as he's lit on fire for 30 seconds?
I did see that, yes.
Okay.
and whatever they wear behind, underneath their clothes that they actually set on fire.
Yeah, this was definitely one of those one take type of scenes. And so Dad hears the screaming. He just happens to see, hey, there's a fire extinguisher right there. Somebody's on fire. Puts the fire out. And this is where we see that the preacher was really a goblin. We just see a little person covered in dust in the goblin outfit. And this is where the family finally realized something weird's going on here. They just now are putting two and two together.
Yeah, even and little Josh kept telling them the whole time, they're going to eat us. These are goblins. Never again. Why is the movie called Troll 2?
Well, okay.
Never in the movie do they use the word troll.
Okay, there is an explanation. It's not a good one. It's not a good one. In 1986, there is a fantasy horror movie called Troll, which actually was very, very popular. It had Noah Hathaway in it from the Neverending Story. Sonny Bono's in it. June Lockhart, who just recently passed away from Lassie and Lost in Space, she's in it.
Yes.
And it's about an actual troll who takes over an apartment complex and turns all the people into little trolls.
Okay.
It was popular, and this was basically, I guess, overseas. This movie is called Goblin. Someone's bright idea thought that they could capitalize on the success of Troll and called it Troll 2.
Okay. Yeah. Just on a side note, after
Yes.
because I watched it on Tubi,
Mm-hmm.
and even though I thought I hit pause, and then I came upstairs to put the light on and
Mm-hmm.
set up my phone. I went back downstairs to get my earbuds, and I did see. I was like, "Is that June Lockhart?" Walking down the stairs, like Tubi automatically started playing Troll number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
I'm a little intrigued.
I'll say this. I'm not saying we have to watch it for the show,
Okay.
but I am up for discussing it because honestly, it is one of my favorite fantasy type horror movies from growing up. I personally think it's really good. Definitely the opposite of this movie. And there's your explanation. I didn't say it was a good one, but there's your explanation. So we got guy set on fire with visible gloves, turns into a goblin. Okay, this next I have, unless I missed something, this is where Credence gets a makeover.
Oh, my favorite. This was my favorite segment of the entire movie.
Then I'm gonna let you handle it, Melissa. Go ahead.
Yes, when she gets a makeover, she's summoning the magic stone of Stonehenge, and
just because,
yeah, and then she turns around and she has different makeup on.
Mm-hmm. The herpes are gone.
She has lipstick bleeding, because it was cheap lipstick probably.
Mm-hmm.
There's no moss on her teeth, and but she's still wearing the same main necklace here, so that we still know it's her. And we cut to the one male friend who was left behind to spend for himself in the RV with no food, but apparently has TV.
Yep.
So he's laying there and he's watching TV, and there's like all these like just weird goblin-y dance solid gold dance shows on the TV, and then suddenly bloop, he stops on a channel with the young Credence doing a little dance in the forest.
And if you thought that the
with her
80s,
corn
90s,
on the cob,
if you thought the 80s 90s synth porn music from earlier was bad, this is like worse than 70s like horn saxophone porno music as she's slowly walking down the trail
in the forest with her skirt split up high, so you see her garter belt holding onto her stockings as she's playing with her one cob of corn.
Yeah.
This is delicious. I'll share it with you. Would you like to eat some? And I was like, yes.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask you. Like you've already been through a lot, Melissa, with this movie. What's going through your head when you see she's going to seduce a man with an ear of corn, and then they actually have a makeout session with the corn cob between them, and then that's where it starts popping?
Well, my guess is that if this were an R-rated film, I'm sure they would have done something else with the cob of corn.
Yes.
But it was, since it's a PG-13, they're now, and the dude so they're in the RV now, and she's looking around like, ooh, what a fancy place you have here, and he's like, and all of a sudden he says, yeah, I like popcorn. And I'm like, who said anything about popcorn? It's a cob of corn. Like, where did popcorn from? And so the two of them now are on either side of the cob of corn.
Yep.
Not the long side, but the flat side, because this again would have been a whole different movie.
that would have been Elliot and his boyfriend earlier.
Right. So, but they're eating it from the long side, and as they're eating it, the corn starts popping and turning into popcorn. and I was like, that's hot. That was hot. And you see the guy wake up and he's just covered in popcorn, and I'm again confused. I'm like,
yep,
there's no green stuff here.
Yeah.
Why is he alive? Like, did he suffocate in the popcorn, and off camera, and we just didn't see it. Like, what happened to that guy? Like,
Witches are horny too, I guess.
I guess. And so then next thing we see she's back in the palace of magic, her magic palace, and talk about herpes on the lip.
Oh, I think she's even worse after being with the guy. I think that's what it was. That corn cob was definitely not clean.
Oh, well, it's either that or it was just so hot that
that's true.
It blistered her mouth. So now she's got corn cob. She's got like corn blisters. Yeah. Corn blisters all over her mouth. And I forget, like, suddenly she's with the family. I don't remember.
Well, what I have next is, like I said, the family is now, they're now inside the house. All the goblins are still in their human forms outside. And they're talking, they say something like, they throw them some food and they say, eat this because it tenderizes you guys. We hate, eating you and makes the meat easier to chew or something like that. And they finally realize, hey, Joshua was right. What can we do? Joshua says, we need Grandpa Seth. Let's have a seance.
Right.
We have a seance.
Right. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so they have this really lame seance. They're trying to get, Grandpa's, Wizard of Oz head to show up.
Right.
And what happens is, Jesus, Joshua has now switched places with a goblin. So there is now a goblin in Joshua's place at the kitchen table trying to cause chaos, and it's chasing the family around the house as the rest of the goblins try to break in. And Dad does his best. He's throwing a couple of the little people down the stairs. I feel so sorry for those stunt people going down those stairs, because they weren't compensated for that.
And again, my question, why didn't the family run outside instead of upstairs to where their car is?
Exactly. I'm sure they can easily get into that car really fast, fend off a couple of the vegetarians and get out of there. So Josh is now with Credence, and he's attacked by the goblins. And again, Grandpa shows up. Where the fuck were you earlier, Grandpa, when they were doing the seance?
Right. And now Grandpa suddenly has a backpack. Every time he shows up, he's got some sort of, like, it's kind of like a video game.
Yes, it really is.
Like he just presents like gifts that, with their tools.
Yeah, it's like everything is like, every scene is like a new level. He gets like a new weapon or something, and Grandpa gives him this backpack, and he says, it's got whatever it is to defeat the goblins or some stupid bullshit like that.
But you can only use each tool one time and never take it out of the backpack until you need it.
Right.
Okay.
But he's never looked. But how do you know when you need it, Grandpa, when he doesn't know what's in the bag?
Exactly. That was my question.
Jesus. Well, I think they got all their smarts from Grandpa Seth. Right. So, what happens? Let's see. We got Credence calls on the goblins, if I'm correct, and Grandpa Seth is starting to fade away. And what I have is Credence returns, and the goblins and her are trying to feed the rancid green pudding to Joshua.
Right, because Grandpa says he's going to disappear at 6 p.m. and it's going to be for the last time. Okay,
thanks, Grandpa. Yeah, like you've done a lot of help now.
Here's the backpack.
Here's the backpack. Use it wisely, kid. So Grandpa fades away. Credence returns. The goblins are trying to feed him the slop. Okay. So this is where he reaches in and he gets his magical weapon. Melissa, how does he fend off the goblins?
With a hamburger.
A double-decker bologna sandwich.
All right.
And that fucking thing is thick. I literally wrote, the double-decker bologna sandwich can fuck off. Oh my God. And he does that, and Credence is worried about the toxins and the meat and all the processed shit that's in bologna. So then the family just happens to find the church. They finally took your advice, Melissa. They got out of the house. They found the church because I guess they say Grandpa told them. Grandpa can, disappear before he disappeared forever. He told the family something like that. I didn't care. So Joshua tells him that they have to touch the Stonehenge stone. And I guess, they got to concentrate, I guess, through the power of love or some bullshit. That's where they're going to defeat the goblins. And we get the same lightning effect that we saw kill the preacher earlier.
Uh-huh.
And it's actually shocking the goblins. There's some interesting effects of the goblins. Like there's little squibs of like their heads, like bullet holes or whatever.
Right,
They're
right.
getting bloody. I'll give credit where credit's due. It's a better effect than, the house plant and that shit that we saw earlier. They're defeated. Credence starts actually bleeding blood, I think, because I'm pretty sure it wasn't just green on her face. I think it was red as well.
Uh-huh.
And then they just go about their merry way. The goblins are defeated. The family drives home.
Wait, the goblins are defeated, but not until after Elliot says, "Can't we just discuss this? We're all humans here."
Shut the fuck up, God. I swear to God.
But are we?
Yeah.
We're clearly not.
No. You saw what that dude looked like when he was, when the fire was put out. They're not human.
Right.
So they drive home. They finally get home. Elliot's with them. They totally forgot about his friend in the popcorn van. Like he never existed.
What happened to him?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or why didn't you look for the other two? I mean, he doesn't know that they're dead, but still, you could have at least looked for your other three friends. No, two friends. So Holly goes and leaves to hang out with Elliot because Dad is taking Elliot home, I believe. Joshua goes in to the house
with his
mom. She takes a bite of an apple.
Which, after everything they just experienced, why would you eat a vegetable? Or a fruit or a vegetable.
And see, here's the thing. She eats a red apple. If you were smart, if this writer was smart, make it like a Granny Smith green or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Stupid. So, okay. I'm going to have you explain the finale. Joshua goes up to take a nap. Mom goes to take a shower. And I literally wrote, Mom gets eaten, whatever. Do you want to elaborate on that, please?
It was really confusing for me because, so Joshua's in his room and he obviously didn't take a bite of the apple. He was like, I'm tired. I'm going to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And he gets in his room and all of a sudden he hears the whispering voices of the goblins.
Mm-hmm.
So he peeks out of his bedroom door and he's like, Mom. And he goes into her bedroom she has an ensuite bathroom. So he goes then into her bathroom and discovers that the shower is covered with green slime. So I was
green handprints on the door.
Green handprints. Right. So I'm thinking, oh, okay. So the mom, ate the apple, ended up, going upstairs to take a shower and dissolved in the shower. But no.
Right.
But no. So Joshua continues downstairs and discovers they're eating my mom. And so you had finally the Jell-O mold came out in the shape of breasts.
Yes, with nipples. That's why you got PG-13.
Right. Breasts had nipples to imply that this is his mom and she's being eaten now by all the goblins. And doesn't the movie just end on Joshua's face?
Yeah, one of the goblins, first off, before he goes downstairs, he's yelling and screaming, and he literally runs to the balcony, squats down, looks through the balcony, and yells, Mommy, like that would have done anything. Yeah. But he sees that they're eating the Jell-O mold of his mom, and one of the goblins looks up and asks, do you want some, Joshua? Joshua screams.
You want to eat your mom?
Ooh, no. Oh, God.
In so many ways, no.
Yeah, no kidding. And then Joshua screams. We freeze frame on his face, and then Joshua's feeling what we're feeling by the time this movie ends. Okay, Melissa, that is Troll 2.
That's how it ended.
Exactly.
It's like, what happened to everybody else?
Exactly.
Was it a dream? Did all the other family members turn into green, slimy Jell-O molds?
Well, they didn't eat the apple. That's what it was. You had to eat the corn to be safe. That's why the one guy in the van isn't going to turn into the troll slime or whatever. He banged Constance, and he ate the magical corn, and now he's all good. Everyone else is gonna be eaten, I guess.
And that was like kind of, what do you call it, gratuitous sex scene, because like there was no purpose for Credence to go to the RV with the corn. Like,
see, here's the thing. I get.
It was hot though. That was the best sex scene ever.
If you want to show nudity to get that PG-13 rating, why don't you use, as dumb as the scene was, why don't you have Credence show off her top or something like that very briefly, instead of leaving the nipples for us when it's the mom's Jello mold? You know what I mean? Be smart.
Right. I was just, again, I left with so many questions. That's what I'm finding is a theme in these weird horror movies, is there's so many unanswered questions. Like, is there a Troll 3?
What
happens to Joshua? Does he spend a life filled with therapy? Does he become a therapist? Does he become an advocate for meat eating? Like,
he's the future liver king or something like that. You know what I mean?
Is he the young RFK Jr.?
Oh God! Well, as much as he screamed, he could probably get his voice like that. I think speaking of questions, I think we've already answered it. Melissa, your favorite scene was the popcorn sex?
Definitely.
That was mine as well. Now, okay. The big question is, now, this isn't a bad movie podcast. We just happen to watch bad movies sometimes. I'm going to put you on the spot. Let's see. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, you gave a 2. The Room, I have written down, you gave a -2. What are you giving Troll 2 as your score?
I'm going to give it on the level of it being a cult, because I was just like, now do we have to watch the, Rocky Horror Picture Show? Like, I mean, that's what this reminded me of. It also a little bit reminded me of Cannibal the Musical. A
little bit, yeah.
Which has Dan Bahar in it.
Yeah, speaking of trolls and goblins.
An angry little man that guy is. Anyway,
and like I said, you can give this score however you want. You don't have to give scores on a technical level. You can give it on how much you enjoyed the movie, however you want.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to know your score.
I gave it a 4 apples.
Wow. Bravo, good for you. I'm not gonna lie. I was wondering, me on the other hand, okay. This was different. Now, if I had, let's just say we watched this together, it would be a lot different. But on a solo watch, and for reference, I gave Winnie the Pooh 2.5, and I gave a -3 to The Room.
Okay.
I'm going to be generous because the actors tried their best with no direction. The suits for 50 cents at Kmart, they looked okay. I'm literally going to give this 1 pair of visible fireproof gloves. And some people could also say this was one big waste of time. However, Melissa is proof that is not true, because you can go into movies like this blind and have a good time.
It's all about being entertained, and it was entertaining.
And that was my biggest fear, because I didn't want you to suffer through, we didn't hate Winnie the Pooh, but I didn't want you to suffer through 2 bad movies by themselves or in a row. And I'm not going to lie, I'm glad that you had a good time, and I'm very shocked but happy that you gave it 4 apples. Now, here's the deal. Next episode, we're going to have to discuss when it's going to be, because the next 2 Wednesdays I am busy. However, we're going to leave it up to your schedule. And again, if you are only listening to the audio, you can tell how excited Melissa is. We usually do a Melissa picks 1 week, I pick 1 week type of thing. However, we did mention that if you go to Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star review and write in why you like us or why you like our show. We will, and you send that proof of that to us through the Instagram or Facebook page. We will take your requests And shout out to Barb from Fear the Talking Heads. She did that for us. We appreciate that. And her request is going to be the next episode, and it is one that Melissa actually put on the schedule that she's been, as you can tell, she's really been wanting to discuss. So for Barb and for yourself, Melissa, what is the next episode of Watch What Now going to be on?
Valley Girl.
Yeah.
Valley Girl.
Okay.
She's cool. He's hot. She's from the Valley. He's not. Starring Nicolas Cage and I don't remember the actress's name, but E.G. Daily is in it.
That's why I'm very interested. I know it is rated R for reasons due to E.G. Daily, so that is enticing to me. I will be a sexist pig in that aspect. I am not a huge Nick Cage fan, but I always will judge it after I've seen it. I've never seen Valley Girl, so I know it has a huge following. Melissa is very excited, so that's also piquing my interest. So the next episode of Watch What Now, episode 7, will be on Valley Girl.
Now, this is the first movie so far that I have seen that Eric has not. Usually it's
Correct.
the other way around. Eric has seen the movie, and so far every movie that we've discussed has been a film I've never seen before.
Yeah. And I'm very excited to do an episode on a movie that you actually wanted to discuss, other than like, something that I haven't seen before, because the Substance and Train to Busan I had already seen. Mm-hmm. And I did tell you this, we're coming up on episode 10. So anyone, God, 10 episodes. I think that's pretty good for our little podcast.
Yeah.
On episode 10, I think that's a big milestone for us. So what I'm going to do is, if you go to the YouTube channel, I'm going to put up a poll. And I think for the 10th episode, since this is, for the most part, a horror podcast and Melissa's journey into horror, I'm going to put 4 options. What I'm going to do is we'll discuss it offline. What the 4 choices are. And to me, they're going to be known as, air quotes, classics of horror.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to, they're movies I enjoy. I'll say that. Okay.
Okay. And it could be from any time period?
I know, I'm going to say 2 are from the 70s and 2 are from the 80s. Okay. And I'm going to leave that poll up for a week. And then the following week, because we still have a little bit of time before episode 10, I'm going to put the 2 choices with the highest votes back up, and I will let fans choose what we will discuss for our 10th episode. But I think that's fun get some interaction going, and to help spread the word of the podcast. Because I don't know about you, even though we've watched crap like The Room and Winnie the Pooh, I've had a lot of fun doing this. I really have, and I think you have too. So I think that would be kind of a fun little way to get the viewers and the listeners involved in celebrating 10 episodes. Maybe
we could also at some point do a little contest for anyone who wants to create an original song, musical song that we could use as our intro.
I would actually love that, because we're always looking for ways to improve the show. I mean, we're both, we're having fun discussing movies. We're pulling this out of our butts. You know what I mean? Just trying to have fun. And if there's ways to make it better, we're going to look at that. So if anyone has any ideas or has any original music that you wouldn't mind, we would obviously, in all the descriptions of the episodes, you would get full credit and links to any social media to show appreciation. But next episode, we have Valley Girl, and then it's up to the fans for episode 10. That's it. You know what, Melissa? As bad as this movie was, I had a lot of fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes.
And I'm definitely looking forward to the next one. Who knows? It could be a lot of fun. It could be a lot of fun. It's just I'm iffy on Nick Cage, but I'm gonna go in and give it 100% fair shot.
God, I wish there's so much I want to say right now, but you haven't watched the movie yet. But
I'll get it watched, and like I said, we'll talk about the schedule. Make it work for you. But the next couple Wednesdays, I'm busy. I have an interview next Wednesday with a pro wrestler on the channel, and then the following Wednesday I'm going to go see midget wrestling. So you know what? It works with the Troll 2 Goblin theme. No offense, but I thought that was funny of tonight's episode. But with that, I'm Eric. Melissa, anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
And I'm Melissa. And adopt, don't shop.
That's right.
If you're looking for a new furry friend to bring into your family, don't purchase. Please consider going to your local shelter and bringing a furry friend into your home, because you not only will you save their life, but you'll save another dog's life as well.
Exactly.
Or cat. They're the most grateful animals, and it's very rewarding as well, knowing that you saved not just one life, but 2 lives.
Yeah, and I'll say you do a really good job promoting that. You've saved a couple dogs yourself, and you've also helped others save dogs as well. And God bless Teddy. He didn't want to be the center of attention tonight.
No, at first he was, because he was walking around here, but yeah.
That's it. Adopt, don't shop, and we truly mean that. I'm Eric. That's Melissa.
I'm Melissa.
We'll
and
see you sometime, hopefully in a couple weeks, or
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see you in November.
Yeah, we'll see.
When I'm at my new house. Well,
that's
it's not
right.
New.
It'll be new to you.
It's new to me. The house that's built in 1813.
Oh, gee. Oh, that'll be perfect if we ever do like a ghost story type of movie. And on that note, I'm Eric, and that's Melissa. Have a good night, everyone.
Mwah.